Strange Black Beats.
Don't. Don't. Yeah. They carry me through fire when the night got thick. You marked the door with mercy and the walls were not stick. The lion had a roar, but it lost its name. I saw the hand of heaven turn the threat to shame. You spoke over the valley, you called me out by name. Every curse fell quiet, every chain unmade. The promise still is standing, the covenant still sings. Satan, you can't have Israel. Holds his people. God still holds his people. Israel. No, you can't have Israel. What he names, he keeps. What he keeps, he seals. By the river and the ruin, through the dust and tears, the same good God was marching through the passing years. Not by fear or favor, not by sword or flame. A million broken moments still could not erase the name. You spoke over the valley, you called me out by name. Every curse fell quiet, every chain unmade. The promise still is standing, the covenant still sings. You can't have Israel. No, you can't have Israel. God still holds his people. God still holds his people. Satan. You can't have Israel. No, you can't have Israel. What he names, he keeps. What he keeps, he seals. Shadow scatter, let every liar flee. The hand that split the ocean is the hand that's over me. From generation to generation, your mercy will remain. The one who guards his people will guard them all the same.
Hey, big salute to the family, giving all praise to the Most High Yah, and faith in Yahshua HaMashiach, and to the mighty nation of Israel. I say peace and blessings. Shout out to the CUC family. Sham, big salute, my brother. Big boy Jake, I see you, boy. Elder Beryl Watt, Elder Bro Tim, and all my beloved brothers and sisters in the chat. As you see the title, family, I wanted to deal with the parallel between Joseph and Yahshua. The Bible is a book of patterns. And if you stick to the pattern, I guarantee you'll be able to see all the parallels. Even when you deal with Solomon, the attribute that Solomon displayed of the Messiah is that he had a kingdom of peace. What is Yahshua's title? King of peace, king of righteousness. So he's the one who's going to get Israel peace. The attribute that David displayed was David was a king and a man of war. What is Yahshua? He's a king and a man of war. What is the attribute that Moses displayed as the Messiah? Yahshua was a prototype of Moses in every way. Moses was a priest. He come from the priestly line of Levi. Yahshua is a priest. Moses was like a guard unto Pharaoh. The Bible in Psalms 45 and Hebrews 1, the Most High told his son, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. And a scepter of righteousness is a scepter of your kingdom. So the Father called his son God. Now I know there's many gods, but I understand that there's a Godhead. And within that Godhead is the divine nature of the Father and his Son. That's the Godhead, meaning the nature and the divine nature of the Father displayed through his Son in the Godhead. Why? Because we can't see the Father, but we see the Father through the Son. That's why it said, please the Father that the Godhead shall dwell in his Son. That's Yahshua. Yahshua was a prophet. Every prophet in this Bible, they writing down what Yahshua is speaking through them. Every prophet in the Bible is speaking what Yahshua, is writing down and speaking what Yahshua is telling them to say. Like when I did a lesson and I showed y'all Jonah, none of that happened to Jonah. Jonah was prophesying about what was going to happen to Messiah. A lot of things that happened to Joseph is parallel to the things that happened to Messiah, which is Yahshua. And that's what I want to show y'all today. This Bible is a book that is accurate, precise, no missteps, no mishaps. The Most High and his Son are what I like to call architects. Everything is rightly fitted in place. Our job is to connect the dots. That's all we have to do is connect the dots. See, I appreciate the Most High scattering the Bible to where it's not in chronological order, because I don't believe a lot of people will read it and really seek it if it was just easy to be understood. Like if he just put everything in order and we just read it down, page, just keep going. No. He say, seek me and you should find me. So now we got to go precept on precept, here a little in this book, here a little in this book, there a little in that book, there a little in this book. Then I got to go outside the Bible. I got to connect the dots. So in order for me to do that, I have to eat this book. I have to seek this book. I have to drink this book. That's the only way to get understanding. We got to seek him and we should find him, fam. The Father and the Son, if we seek them, we will find them. So get your Bible. Please follow along with your brother KJ. And let's get this understanding together, family. Let's sword swing. Let's get it. All right, family, let's get it. I want to go to Revelations 12 because I want to show you it's something in Revelations 12. And in order to get the understanding of what I'm about to read, you got to go back to Genesis 37. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to show this parallel between Joseph and Yahshua HaMashiach. Let's go to Revelations 12, and I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. I pray everybody is well. I give y'all an early Shabbat Shalom, family. And y'all already know, y'all brother KJ love y'all with the pure heart. Let's get it. Revelations 12, family. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. Revelations 12. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. And he reads, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. What's the understanding of this? Let's go to Genesis 37. This is why the Bible say line upon line and precept on precept. In order for me to get the answer, I got to go to Genesis. The book of Genesis 37. Remember what he just said. A great wonder in heaven. The sun, the moon, crown of 12 stars. What is this talking about? Let's get it. This is Genesis 37 and verse 1. The book of Genesis 37 and verse 1. And it reads, and Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. So Joseph was a snitch. And you already know in the family, we don't like snitching. You go and tell mama and daddy on us, we don't like that. So we're going to be angry with you. You doing all that snitching. So Joseph was a snitch. Verse 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was a son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. Now hold on. Let me paint this picture real quick. Hold on. The Bible just said that Joseph is beloved of Jacob more than all his other children, right? Well, guess what, family? The Most High have other children outside of Yahshua, which is the nation of Israel. But who y'all think the Father loved most? His beloved son, family, who been with him from generation to generation. Before anything was even created, his son was already with him. So let's go look at this real quick. Let's go to Matthew chapter 3 and verse 17. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his children, just like the Most High loved Yahshua more than all his children. Matthew 3, 17. And I'll go up a few verses so we can get context. This is Matthew chapter 3. And I'm going to pick up verse 13. And it reads, then cometh Yahshua from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? Yahshua answered and said unto him, suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him. And Yahshua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens was opened unto him. And he saw the spirit of Elohim descending like a dove, and lighting upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Let's go back to Genesis 37. We still got to get the understanding of this dream. The sun, the moon, and 12 stars. Genesis 37. And I'm going to pick it back up at verse 3. And I'll tell y'all when I'm going to skip down. And it reads, now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was a son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. Now, I want y'all to notice that Joseph's brethren, they angry with Joseph. It say they hated him. They cannot speak kindly to Joseph. Listen to this again. Joseph's brethren, they hated him. I want to show you something real quick, a parallel. Let's go to Songs of Solomon. Songs of Solomon. And I want y'all to see this for yourself. Somebody was angry with Yahshua. And guess who it was, y'all? His brethren. Let me show you. This is Songs of Solomon chapter 1. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 1. Now remember what I told y'all, that all the prophets that's speaking in scripture, Yahshua is speaking through each and every one of them. He's speaking the things pertaining to him that would either happen to him, and also the deliverance of the children of Israel, and also how he would be raised from the dead, and how he would be king over Israel, sit in Jerusalem. He's telling all these things through the prophets. Even what I'm about to read now, this is not talking about Solomon. This is talking about Yahshua HaMashiach. Let me prove it. Songs of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 1. The songs of songs, which is Solomon's. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of the Savior of thy good ornament, thy name is as an ornament poured forth. Therefore do the virgins love thee. The virgins love Solomon? I don't think so, family. Verse 4, draw me. We will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine, because the upright love thee. The upright love you. Who, Solomon? No, family. The upright love Yahshua, that's speaking through Solomon. Because Songs of Solomon is a love story between the daughters of Zion, which is the people of Zion, Jerusalem, and the Mashiach, Yahshua. Verse 4 again, draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. I am black but comely, are you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. My mother's children was angry with me. Oh, just like Joseph's brother was angry with him. Was our mother's children angry with Solomon? No, he had a kingdom of peace. So who is our mother's children angry with if it ain't Solomon? Let me keep going, because I'm about to prove something to you according to the text. Verse 6, look not upon me because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. My mother's children was angry with me, and they made me the keeper of the vineyards. But my own vineyard have I not kept. Solomon got a vineyard that he did not keep, family? I don't think so. Let's go to Psalm 69 and let's get the answer. Then I'll go to Isaiah 5 and bring it home. Psalm 69. And let me get straight to the point. He said, my mother's children was angry with me. We got to find out what's going on. Psalm 69. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 6. Psalm 69 and verse 6. And it reads, let not them that wait upon thee, O Elohim of hosts, be ashamed for my sake. Let not those that seek thee be confounded for my sake, O Elohim of Israel. Because for thy sake I have borne reproach, shame have covered my face, and I am become a stranger unto my brethren. I have become a stranger unto my brethren. I have become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. Joseph's brothers hated him. Yahshua just said that my mother's children was angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyard, but my own vineyard have I not kept. Then he just said, and I become a stranger unto my brethren, and a alien unto my mother's children. That's how it was for Joseph. They despised Joseph. So I need to find out who is this vineyard. Because he just said they made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept. So was that talking about Solomon with a vineyard? Or is this talking about the king? And that vineyard is Israel. Let's go find out. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5. And then we're going right back to Genesis 37. Isaiah chapter 5. Let's find out about this vineyard. Isaiah 5 and verse 1. Isaiah 5 and verse 1. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 1. And it reads, now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it, and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a wine press therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, righteousness, and it brought forth wild grapes, sin. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, oh, this ain't talking about Solomon. Solomon not the one with the vineyard. This individual say, well, I sing to my well-beloved. Oh, he talking about Judah and Jerusalem. Because he look at Judah and Jerusalem as a what? As a woman. Jeremiah 6:2. So when he said the daughters of Zion, he talking about the people of Zion. Let me keep going. Verse 3. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And now go to, I will tell you what I would do to my vineyard. I would take away the hedge, meaning protection thereof, and it should be eaten up. He gonna let the nations handle their business, and break down the walls thereof, and it should be trodden down. And I will lay it waste, and it should not be pruned nor dig, but there should come up briars and thorns. He gonna leave your land desolate. And I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of the Lord, no Solomon. For the vineyard of the Lord, you got it wrong, KJ, is Solomon. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. Let's go back to Genesis 37. So now you got a better understanding in the Songs of Solomon, the person who's speaking through Solomon, who said, my mother's children was angry with me, and they made me the keeper of the vineyard. I took care of other vineyards, but my own vineyard I did not take care of. Why? Because when I looked for grapes, it brought forth wild grapes, meaning sin. But I was looking for righteousness. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take away your hedge, your protection. I'm going to leave you waste. He's going to let the nation destroy you. And I'm not going to rain no rain upon this vineyard. That's your vegetation and your crops. Genesis 37. Now let's get to the dream. The book of Genesis 37. And now I'm going to jump down. I'll start at verse 5. Let's just go through verse 5. Verse 5. Here we go. Genesis 37, verse 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream and told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream, which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and I also stood upright, and I also stood upright, and I also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheep. And his brethren said unto him, should thou indeed reign over us? Or should thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren. and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun, his father, and the moon, his mother, and the 11 stars, because Joseph is the 12th star, made obeisance to me. And he told it his father and to his brother. And his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I, the sun, and thy mother, the moon, and thy brethren, the 11 stars, indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? Absolutely. That's exactly what happened. They bowed themselves down to Joseph. What is this parallel? His brethren say, you gonna rule over us? Are we gonna bow before you? Yes. Yes, you're gonna bow before Joseph. Because there's something in the book of Luke that I'm about to read right now. What all 12 tribes gonna do to Yahshua HaMashiach. Let's take a look at it. Let's go to Luke chapter 1. See, his father, he said, shall I, the sun, the moon, your mother, and your brethren bow down to you? Yes. Let's go to Luke chapter 1. We coming right back. You coming right back. Go to Luke chapter 1. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 27. 26. I keep telling people this Bible is cold. The word is true. Can't get around it. You can't get around it, man. So watch this. Luke chapter 1 and verse 26. Remember what it said. His father said, we're going to bow down ourselves to you. His brethren asked, are we going to bow before you? Okay. What is this parallel to? Luke chapter 1, verse 26. And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from Elohim unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin name was Mary. And the angel came in unto her and said, hail, thou that art highly favored, the Elohim is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and cast in her mind what manner of salutation this should be. And the angel said unto her, fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with Elohim. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus. And he shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And the Lord Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father David, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob, all 12 tribes, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. That's exactly what happened to Joseph. All his brethren bowed down before him, all the 11 stars, because the 12th star was sitting on the throne. Now, if you separate Yahshua as an Israelite from the other 11 stars, who gonna sit on the throne? Yahshua. What the other 11 stars gonna do? Bow before him. Knowledge now. You gotta make it make sense. Now, y'all also remember when it said that Joseph's brethren hated him. They couldn't even speak peaceably to their brother. I mean, as soon as they saw Joseph, they just, man, what is he doing around us? We don't even want to talk to him. We don't even want this man around us, man. Go on about your business, bro. Number one, you a snitch. And then our father love you more than he love everybody else. When Yahshua say, I'm the son of God, they wanted to stone the man. They wanted to kill him. He said, I'm sitting down for my father. They say, man, you tripping. How you make yourself talking about your father sent you down here? They had no understanding, family. The Most High did send his son down here. They didn't understand it because they were blinded by traditions of men. And a lot of these people that he was dealing with wasn't even no Israelites. Some of them was. Some of them, a lot of them wasn't. So that's why we got to distinguish when he's talking to Israel and when he's talking to these Herodians, these so-called fake made-up priests. We don't call ourselves chief priests. You either a high priest, Levi, or a Levite. And they all got a job to do. We never call ourselves chief priests. That's not in the scriptures. What is a chief priest? Aaron was a high priest, not a chief priest. So, because of his brethren got a problem with him, some of our people had a problem with Yahshua. But it wasn't the bulk of the people. A lot of them believed in him. They wept for him. But nobody want to tell our people their part. They tell them in Christianity, the Jews killed Christ. They've been woefully misinformed, family. Let's go to John chapter 1 and verse 11. Then we're going right back to Joseph. John chapter 1, verse 11. John chapter 1 and verse 11. Matter of fact, I'll go up a few verses. I'll go to verse 9. John chapter 1, verse 9. And it reads, that was the true light, which lighted every man that coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Joseph went to his brethren, but they did not receive him because they hated him. Joseph went to his brethren, but they did not receive him. They hated him. Let's go back to Genesis 37. Let's go back to Genesis 37. We're going to let this Bible do what it do, family. I ain't got to say nothing. I'm just going to line it up. I'm just going to line it up, family. Let the Bible do what it do. Let's go to Genesis 37. And when I get there, I got y'all. Let's see what I want. This is Genesis 37 and verse 11. And verse 11. Genesis 37, verse 11. And it reads, and his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here am I. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren and well with the flocks, and bring me word again, because he already knew Joseph was a snitch, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. And the man said, they are departed hence. For I heard them say, let's go up to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. Now hold on though. Here you go. Verse 18. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. Oh. Kind of sound like what the Herodians was doing with a lot of these Roman so-called priests. Y'all remember they had a council on how they might slay Yahshua. Joseph's brethren then got together and they conspired the same thing, fam. This is this man's brethren. This is this man's biological kinfolk. Some of Yahshua people who was also trying to line themselves up with the Herodians and the Romans, some of them had this same mind against their brethren who was in leadership position. We're not talking about the po folk. We're not talking about the regular Israelites who was looking for salvation, who was screaming out, Hosanna, Hosanna, son of David, save now. There was a lot of people screaming it. So how everybody was against the Messiah when a lot of them was looking for salvation from the king, from the son of David? So they didn't already conspired against their brother, y'all. So I want y'all to peep this, though. Peep this. Verse 23. Watch this. Verse 23. And it came to pass when Joseph was coming to his brethren that they stripped Joseph out of his coat. That they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread. They lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spices and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. Then they passed by Midianite merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. I want you to notice something. Joseph was sold for 20 pieces of silver. His brother didn't conspire this whole plan to do this to their own kinfolk, to do this to their own flesh and blood. If it wasn't for Judah intervening, they probably would have killed their own brother, y'all. Because Judah had to ask, man, what is it if we do this to our brother and conceal his blood, man? This our brother. But they hated this man so much. They weren't thinking about this our brother. They hated him, family. And when you hate something, actions follow behind that type of hate. We know that firsthand, right? People say we are hateful people, or we racist and hateful. What have we done to any other group of people to manifest hatred because there's no action behind how we feel? If we did say, man, I can't stand you people, I hate you people. Even if one of our people did say that, what actions have they done to show you how much they hate you? Nothing. What have you done by your hatred to show that you hate us? Everything. Everything under the sun. So your hatred has manifested through your works, manifesting your hatred. Because when you hate, people die. When you hate, blood is shed. When you hate, nations are destroyed. So don't ever tell me about some hate, because I know what it looked like firsthand. I done read your history, partner. So I need to find out. Joseph was sold for some silver, 20 pieces. The Messiah, the same thing happened to the king. Let's go to Zechariah. I think it's Zechariah chapter 11. Zechariah chapter 11. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 12. Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 12. Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 12. And it reads, and I said unto them, if ye think good, give me my price. And if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord said unto me, cast it unto the potter, a goodly price, that I was praised at of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast it at the potter in the house of the Lord. So Yahshua was sold for 30 pieces of silver too. But Joseph was sold for 20. You see that parallel? They sold Joseph into Egypt. Judas sold Yahshua into the hands of the enemy, his own brother, just like they did their brother. But then they repented themselves. Judas repented himself and gave the pieces of silver back. Let's go take a look at it. This is Matthew 26. Matthew 26. Matthew 26. Now I'm going to pick it up at verse 22. Matthew 26 and verse 22. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man of whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It have been good for that man if he have not been born. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. And as they were eating, Yahshua took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup, and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for the remission of sins. Jump down to verse 38. Here you go, y'all. Listen to this. I'm sorry. Not verse 28. Go to Matthew 27. And here you go right here. What Judas is about to do. He repented himself. Matthew 27 and verse 1. Matthew 27, verse 1. And when the morning was come, all the chief priests and the elders of the people. Y'all see that? Chief priests. These are not Israelites, family. These are not Israelites. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and the elders of the people took counsel against Yahshua to put him to death. So when they say the elders of the people, I'm pretty sure it was some of our so-called leaders, just like we see today, coons. They threw their hat in the ring. I'm not saying it wasn't some of them, but when they say the Jew, no. All of our people did not want him to be crucified. That's a lie. Verse 1. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and the elders of the people took counsel against Yahshua to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away, delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned, and that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. So do you see that just like Joseph was sold by his brethren, Yahshua was sold by his brethren, which was Judas, for 30 pieces of silver, and Joseph for 20 pieces of silver. So do y'all see this? Do y'all see this, man? Now, watch this, though. Because now Joseph is sold into Egypt, right? Okay. Watch this. This is about to make all the sense in the world, family, when we deal with this right here. Now, we know that Joseph is sold, right? He already in Egypt. He's sold into Egypt. Here you go right here. And then y'all remember, hold on. Y'all remember when it just said his brother stripped him of his coat, right? I'm already in Matthew 27. Go to verse 28. Watch this, y'all. The Bible said in Genesis 37 that Joseph's brethren stripped him of his coat. Who did that happen to? Matthew 27, verse 28. And they stripped him and put on him a scarlet robe. Just like Joseph's brethren stripped him of his coat, they stripped Yahshua and put him on a scarlet robe. Same thing they did to Joseph. Same thing they did to Messiah. It's the same thing, family. Now here it go. I want y'all to peep this now. We're finna deal with this. Let's go to Genesis 39. And I want to show y'all when Joseph was cast into prison. And I want you to look at the age when Joseph stood before Pharaoh. And I'm going to link that up to the age that Yahshua was when he started his ministry. If y'all see any trolls in the chat, can y'all just please get them out of my chat, please? If y'all see any trolls, then I ain't got time for it today, family. I'm trying to really teach y'all and show y'all this parallel. I ain't got time for the trolls today. All right, here we go, my beloved family. Let's go to Genesis 39. Now, I'm just going to, give the backdrop. Pharaoh's wife, she lied on Joseph. She tried to give Joseph, some cookies, Oreos. Joseph wasn't having it. Joseph was a righteous man. He wasn't trying to mess with another man's wife. But she was persistent. I mean, she tried to get that boy them Oreos. And Joseph said, no, man. So much so, the man ran out of the house bucket, fam. I'm talking about just straight bucket. So this was a righteous man. But I want you to see that because she lied on him, and Pharaoh, evidently you ain't have no wisdom because you ain't do no investigation. You just believed your wife. Your wife lying to you, dog. You know Joseph. You know he righteous. But you're going to believe your wife instead of doing the investigation and seeing if this was true. You just cast a man in prison. But then they lied on Yahshua and said many things that he did that he never did. He was without sin. They didn't do no investigation to see if these things were true. They didn't do no investigation to see if this was true that Joseph did. Let's go to Genesis 39. And I want y'all to see this. Genesis 39. Genesis 39 and verse 20. Now, we didn't already know Joseph, he didn't want to touch the woman, so he fled out the house. He said, nah, I ain't doing that. He said, I ain't going to commit this great sin. You another man's wife. That's a great sin. Genesis 39, verse 20. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison and placed where the king's prisoners were, bound. And he was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keepers of the prisons. And the keepers of the prisons committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that was in the prisons. And whosoever they did there, and whatsoever they did there, it was the doer of it. He was the doer of it. So whatever went on in that prison, they committed all them prisoners into the hand of Joseph. Verse 23, the keepers of the prisons looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him. And that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. Hold on, man. Joseph, you in prison. You ain't do nothing wrong, man. But you are bound in prison, brother. I need to go check this out. Let's go, y'all. To Isaiah 61. I think it's Isaiah 61. This is Isaiah 61 and verse 1. And it reads, the Spirit of the Lord Elohim is upon me, because my Elohim have anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. He have sent me to bind the brokenhearted to the, he have He hath bind unto, hold on, let me read that again. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Elohim have anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. So they committed all the prisoners unto Joseph, just like the Most High committed all those who are brokenhearted, all those who was bound in prison, whether that's physical or whether that's spiritual. All things have been committed to the hand of Yahshua HaMashiach. So do y'all see that when Joseph was in prison, the Most High was with him? So the prisoners, they just put everything in Joseph's hand and let Joseph handle business down there as he saw fit. Let me go to Isaiah 53. And I want to show you this too. Because Joseph, to be in prison, it's not a good feeling, man. It's not a good feeling at all. At all, family. That is not a good feeling to be bound in prison when you ain't do nothing wrong. Yahshua, he ain't do nothing wrong. He ain't do nothing wrong, family. But I want you to see this, though. Isaiah 53 and verse 8. Isaiah 53 and verse 8. This time about Yahshua, y'all. I'll pick it up at verse 7. And it reads, he was oppressed, he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shears is dumb. So he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who should declare his generation? For he was cut out of the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people was he stricken. So Yahshua was taken from prison and judgment because of the grief and the anguish that he endured. For the transgressions of his people were he afflicted. Now I want you to really peep this. Joseph was put in position to suffer a little bit. To also do what? To become the second ruler in Egypt. To do what? To save his family from a famine. See, the brethren didn't understand that the Most High had that whole thing planned out. He already knew he was going to send Joseph down there to Egypt because he already knew a 7-year famine was coming. So he used Joseph to not only save Israel, but all the people that lived in Egypt also benefited from what Joseph was doing for his own family. So now do people understand when we say if somebody live among us, they also get the benefit from the land just like the people of the land. So Egypt got the benefit from the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that Joseph was given by the Most High, and his family was rescued by Joseph because of famine. And not only did he save his family, he saved everybody that was around his family, meaning the surrounding nations, because they all had to come to Egypt to do what? To buy bread. But the Bible just said that Christ was taken from prison, right? Let me show y'all something. Let's go to Genesis 41. Genesis 41. And watch this. Genesis 41. Genesis 41, family. And verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. Watch this, y'all. Now we know that Joseph can interpret dreams, right? Because the Most High gave him that ability. Jump down to verse 39 to 41 and watch this. Because Joseph did interpret a dream to Pharaoh, and look at what Pharaoh said. Genesis 41, 39 to 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as Elohim have showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. Do this sound familiar, y'all? That Yahshua should be over the Most High house. And according to Yahshua's word, shall all the people be ruled. You know how I know that? Because when Yahshua come back, it say he should rule from river to river and from sea to sea. And all nations gonna bow before the Son of the highest. But then Christ say, my Father is greater than I. He just told Joseph, I'll only be greater than you in the throne, but you second in command. But we know according to the Godhead and according to scriptures, Yahshua say he thought it not robbery to be equal with his Father. Why? Because there's a Godhead. And he's standing next to his Father on the right-hand side, or sitting on the throne next to his Father on the right-hand side. So Joseph was second in command over all Egypt. Pharaoh was only greater than him in the throne, but he committed all into Joseph's hands. Just like the Bible say, Christ say, the Father have committed all power in heaven and earth into my hand. Knowledge. But K. Judah, you got to make it make sense. You got to make this make sense, bro. You have to. Make this make sense now. Okay, so let's make this make sense. Okay. Make this make sense. Y'all watch this right here. Now, y'all remember that the Bible said that everybody had to come to Egypt to buy bread, right? Buy bread and corn and all that, right? This is Genesis 41 and 57 now. Just stay in Genesis 41 and 57. And y'all listen to this. I'll go to 55. It say, and when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph. What he said to you, do. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was sore in all the land. Now they came to buy bread. Let's go to John chapter 6, verse 35. John chapter 6. Hey, did y'all know? Y'all remember the two men that was in prison with Joseph? Y'all remember the two men that Joseph interpreted the dream? One took care of the wine and one took care of the bread. One was a baker and one was he poured Pharaoh wine. Yahshua, he's the bread and he brought forth wine unto Abraham. Let me say that again. Joseph told two men and interpreted their dream. One was a butler and one poured the wine to Pharaoh. Yahshua is the bread that come down from heaven, and he also gave his disciples wine. When he met Melchizedek, he brought forth bread and wine. Yahshua said this. Let's go, y'all. Boy, this Bible is cold, boy. You can't go wrong with it. You cannot go wrong with it. Not this Bible. I don't know what people talking about. Somebody, this Bible ain't real. Somebody lied to you. The devil is a lie. Let's go to John 6:35. John 6:35. One of them got hung. Y'all remember the butler? He got hung. But the one who poured the wine, he was restored to his position. One took care of the bread, one took care of the wine. That's parallel of Yahshua HaMashiach, bread and wine. This is John chapter 6 and verse 35. John chapter 6 and verse 35. And it reads, and Yahshua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Oh, just like they had to come to Joseph for the bread when they hungered. They had to go to Joseph. All the surrounding nations have to go to Joseph. All the nations on the earth have to go to Jerusalem to hear from the bread of life, which is Yahshua HaMashiach. Why, K. Judah? Because the law should go from Jerusalem. And all nations are going to flow to Jerusalem to hear the law. All nations got to go to Jerusalem to bow before the king. Just like Joseph's brethren had to go down in Egypt and bow before Joseph. They didn't recognize Joseph. I'm about to put a nugget in y'all head. Let me deal with this first, and I got a good question I want to ask y'all. So let me deal with this first. Hold on. Watch this, y'all. Let me deal with this first. Let's deal with this real quick. I want to show y'all something. All right, here we go. Go back to Genesis 41, 46. And I'm about to prove something real quick to y'all. Let's go back to Genesis 41 and 46. Genesis 41 and verse 46. And it reads, and Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Y'all heard that? Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. How old was Yahshua when he started his ministry? Let's go to Luke chapter 3, verse 23. Luke chapter 3. Verse 23. This is Luke chapter 3 and verse 23. Matter of fact, I'll go up to verse 22. Luke chapter 3, verse 22. And the Holy Ghost descended in a bodily shape like a dove upon him. And a voice came from heaven which said, Thou art my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. And Yahshua himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli. So Christ was 30 years old Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh. When Yahshua was anointed and baptized, before he started his ministry, 30 years old. So Joseph came out the prison and stood before Pharaoh at 30 years old. Parallel to Yahshua starting his ministry, 30 years old. The parallel of Joseph and Yahshua is that Joseph was cast in prison, right? And he came out of prison second in command. What are you saying, K. Judah? Yahshua was cast in prison and he came out a king and the savior of the nation of Israel to redeem us from the curse of the law. What prison you talking about, KJ? Even though he saw no corruption, but he was bound for 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. But when he came out, what was he? He was a spirit, a king, a ruler who sit on the right-hand side of the Father until he come back to set up his kingdom and have dominion over all the earth, from sea to sea and river to river. When Joseph came out that prison, that's when Joseph sat on the throne next to Pharaoh at the age of 30 years old. So they had a 7-year famine, right? But they had to come down there to Egypt to get the bread and to nourish the body. Everybody got to come to Jerusalem to get the law from Jerusalem to nourish the mind. All nations got to be taught. But K. Judah, you just said that Joseph was taken out of prison. It's like being resurrected from the dead. Joseph was bound. He went through some hardships. He didn't commit no sin, just like Yahshua didn't commit no sin. But the anguish, the pain, the grief that they put upon Yahshua, he was in prison. Because all they try to do is kill him, stone him. They try to throw him off a cliff. Let's go to Psalm 16. And let me show you that the Most High did not allow his Holy One to see corruption. And he brought Joseph out of prison at the right time. Because y'all remember, Joseph was 17 years old. Joseph was 17 years old when he went down there to Egypt, y'all. He was in prison for 13 years. I think it's 13. I think 13, 14. I think it's 13, though. He was in prison, right? So he stood before Pharaoh at the age of 30. Let me get this right. Hold on. I got my calculator right here. Yep. 13 years. So from the age of 13, I said from the age of 13, my bad. From the age of 17, 13 years in prison will put Joseph at 30 years old. This man was in prison for no reason at the age of 17 years old. And he did 13 years in prison, y'all, without committing a sin. They grieve Yahshua spirit. That's why if y'all read the book of Psalms, he always told the Father, the waters are coming to my soul. They cover me in deep waters. That's what he was talking about. Because the people, the opposition that he faced, it was like water covering you, drowning you, smothering you, where you could not breathe. That's why he had to use his power at times to pass through them real quick and swiftly. Let's go to Psalm 16. Psalm 16. Psalm 16. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 8. And it reads, I have set the Lord always before me, because he's at my right hand. I should not be moved. Therefore my heart is glad and my glory rejoice. My flesh to also rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, in prison. Neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. Thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore. So just like Joseph was bound for 13 years in prison, and the Most High raised him up to a level of greatness. Yahshua was bound in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights. He did not see corruption, meaning decompose. And the Father raised him out of that grave to power and might and honor and glory. And he have set all things before his hand. Just like Joseph was taken out of prison and lifted up to a magnificent status. And guess what? All things was committed to Joseph, just like all things are committed to Yahshua. Yahshua is the bread of life that come down from heaven. Every nation had to go to Egypt to buy bread from Joseph. What is that symbolic to? Everybody going to Jerusalem to hear the words of Yahshua HaMashiach. We talking physical and we talking spiritual. Joseph sat up on the throne and his brothers did not recognize him, because Joseph had on the Egyptian attire. They bowed down their knees to Joseph, just like Genesis 37 said. They say, should we bow down to you? That's exactly what they did when they went down to Egypt to buy bread. Joseph saved his family. And in the midst of saving his family, he saved everybody else around his family, because Most High put Joseph in position to save his family, and everybody else benefited from Joseph's family being saved. The Bible says the nations should grab the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we going with you. We have heard that Elohim is with y'all. And they all knew that the Lord was with Joseph. Now, this the nugget I want to drop on y'all. I'm glad I didn't forget it. This the nugget I want to drop. And I want y'all to really think about what I'm about to say. I want y'all to really think about what I'm about to say. Joseph's brothers did not recognize him because of the Egyptian attire. Did y'all know that when Yahshua was resurrected, why Mary could not recognize him? She thought he was a gardener or something. Why? Why the men that was walking along the beach, Yahshua is walking on side of them, but they did not recognize him? Why these people did not recognize the Messiah when he was resurrected? Why they looking at the person that just was with them before he died? But in the resurrection of his spirit being, they didn't recognize who he was at first. Could it be, and I'm asking y'all, could it be that the glorified body looked different? Well, we know it's different. Did it do something to Yahshua's appearance to where they could not recognize him? Mary did not recognize him until he said Mary. They said that she thought he was just a gardener or something, just over there taking care of plants and stuff. That means their spirit body is different than his physical body. And it did something to the Messiah to where they did not recognize that man at first, until he went in the midst of the disciples and said, "Hail, peace be unto you." But when he was walking along that beach and told them, "Man, you fools, not to believe all the scriptures," he's walking right with them and asked them, "What y'all talking about?" They say, "Have you not heard?" They don't even know it's him. They don't even know it's him walking with them. And he told them, you fools, are you slow to believe the scriptures? That glorified body is different, family. Y'all remember when the Bible said Yahshua did not come, that anybody should desire him. I don't believe that glorified body is the same as his physical, even though I know the flesh and blood is different than the spiritual. I'm just talking about we're going to look how we look, but I think it's going to be something changed in our appearance. Even though we still us, that spirit being is something more powerful and different. Just looking at my physical. I think we look even younger. So I just wanted to put that on y'all mind. And y'all go back and read that about when Mary saw him, she thought he was a garden. When he was walking on the beach, they did not recognize him. They saw him afar off. They walking toward it. They still didn't recognize him at first. They did not recognize Yahshua, fam. Because the glorified is different than his corruptible. And the incorruptible is more magnificent than the corruptible. And we all can agree on that. That's what we're looking for. That incorruptible, not that corruptible. This is just a shell. We want that glorified body. We want that glorified body. That's what we're looking for. So I just wanted to come up here and let y'all know that Joseph and Yahshua life is parallel, just like Moses and Yahshua. Moses was the only one to declare his generation because all the male babies that supposed to be born with Moses in his generation, Pharaoh threw in the Nile River. All the babies that's supposed to be in Yahshua's generation, according to Matthew chapter 2, Herod the Great, which is an Edomite and Idumean, he killed all the babies from 2 years old and under. Why, K. Judah? Because Herod died in 4 BC. And the Bible said that Christ was born 2 years before Pharaoh died. That's 6 BC, fam. So 2 years went by when the wise men did not come back to Herod. So he killed the babies from 2 years old and under at the time he sought the wise men. 2 years. So Christ was 2 years old when Pharaoh told the wise men to bring me word again. They never went back to Pharaoh because the Most High told them, do not go back that way. So Moses and Yahshua life is similar in every way. Moses come from Levi, which is the priestly line. Yahshua is a priest. Moses is a mediator. Yahshua is a mediator. Moses is a deliverer. Yahshua is a deliverer. He's going to deliver you. Him and Moses, life is similar in every way. He's a prototype of Moses. So the point that I'm making, family, is that if you just follow the pattern of the Bible, you're going to be able to see all this, family. You will be able to connect David to Yahshua attributes. You will be able to connect Solomon to Yahshua attribute. You'll be able to connect the prophets to Yahshua. Just listen to the wording of what the prophets is writing down and tell me that happened to them. No, it did not happen to Yahshua. Y'all remember when he said they spit in my face? That didn't happen to Isaiah. That happened to Yahshua. They spit in Yahshua's face. I turned they struck my back. That's Yahshua. All the Psalms that David is writing, go read them again. It's talking about Yahshua, family. They parted my garments. That didn't happen to David. They gave me vinegar to drink. That didn't happen to David. But David writing it down, though, because David is prophesying through the spirit of Yahshua HaMashiach. So this is why we got to put our full trust in Yahshua HaMashiach. There is no other way. Because Yahshua bread you can eat for free. But you are bought with a price. You can't do what you want to do. You are bought with a price. Blood being shed for your redemption. Blood being shed for your deliverance. That's why when they did the Passover, if you had faith, you put the blood on the dough. If you didn't have no faith, you didn't put the blood on the dough. That let us know where your faith was. Do you believe? Put the blood on the dough then. And I'm going to pass over you when I see the blood. Oh yeah, absolutely, Elder. I'm saying that Herod, when he sent the wise men to go seek the young child, and you remember, the Most High told them, do not go back to Herod. So they never went back that way. So 2 years passed by. That's why Herod killed all the babies from 2 years old and under. And the Herod I'm talking about, y'all, is Herod the Great, the Idumean, the Edomite. Our brother. Our brother. Thank you for that, Elder. So, family, do anybody got any questions? We only at an hour and 27. If y'all got some questions, I'll stay on and answer a few questions. But I just wanted to show y'all, when y'all read the scriptures, it's a parallel book, man. It's a book of pattern and parallel. Okay, somebody said, thank you, Elder Barrel. I sure appreciate it. Hey, y'all see that? Me and my elder look out for each other, man. It's what we do. Nobody don't know. Me and my elder be on the phone. A matter of fact, we got a lesson tomorrow coming up about the migration patterns into Africa. And we're going to show our people all the historical documentation of the migration patterns that our people took to get into Egypt, whether that's North Africa, West Africa, then down there to South Africa. We was even in Central Africa. Man, we got the documentation, man. We got the slides. Once I'm done with them, I'll email y'all the slides. So we'll be live tomorrow. So somebody asked a good, thank you, Elder Barrow. That's my elder right there. Okay, somebody said, why do other teachers teach that Jerusalem is in Ethiopia? And why can't we all be on the same page with our teaching? Well, to be honest with you, because nobody want to iron sharpen iron. Nobody want to have discussions about the things that people teach that's incorrect. Like, for instance, you just asked me, why do people teach that Jerusalem is in Ethiopia? You know who job that is? It's the people in the audience job to ask the person who's saying it, where you get that from, bro? Can you read that out of the Bible? That Jerusalem is in Ethiopia. That's how we hold each other accountable. But people are afraid to do that, so we're never going to get on the same page because we got too many yes men. We got too many regurgitators of information that's incorrect. So that's why we tell people, man, get your Bible and read along with me. So a lot of us right here, we on the same page. But if you talking about it as a whole, that ain't never going to happen, bro. I'm sorry. We ain't going to never be on the same page until Yahshua come and get us. Because we got too many arrogant men. They don't want their information to be questioned, but everybody else false. Everybody else false teachers but them. So then when we say, well, drop the link, they say, no, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to teach what I teach, you teach what you teach. But what you teaching is wrong, brother. I don't care. That's your opinion. It's not my opinion. Can you show me where Jerusalem is in Ethiopia in the Bible? They're not going to do it. They're going to tell me to get out their chat. Go on about your business. I ain't got time to talk to you, bro. So we're never going to get on the same page, but you know what we can do? Those of us who are on the same page, We're going to rock with the people that are on the same page, like me and Elder Bell Watt, me and Elder Bro Tim, me and my brother Big Boy Jake. We on the same page. Me and my brother Sharshan, we on the same page. And a lot of other great teachers out there, we on the same page. I'm on the same page with Elder Bro Marlon, who taught me, Elder Bro Bowie, who taught me. Guess what? We on the same page. Nobody teach that Jerusalem is in Ethiopia but men who lie to an audience of people who don't ask no questions. I have never heard them say, read that out of the Bible, bro. They're not going to do it because they're afraid to challenge the teacher because they are afraid to get kicked out the chat box or be excommunicated from the live. So that's what it is, man. And guess what? Brothers and sisters have come to me, and I don't take no credit for this. All credit go to the Most High Yah. He just gave me the understanding to bring it forth. All credit go to the Most High Yah and Yahshua. You know what? A lot of people then came and told me, man, brother, I got to go back and go read, bro. Like, Jesus. Bro, I've been lied to, bro. Like, I thought that was our land, KJ. Man, I really believe, that Jerusalem was in Ethiopia and South Africa was Israel. Now people are finding out that they've been lied to, bro. Because one thing that I'm going to do to my people, I'm going to show you the scripture and I'm going to follow along with a map to show you migration patterns, how they got to the land of Canaan. I'm going to actually show you and follow along with the scriptures, with the map. They don't do that. They don't show no maps. They just tell you Jerusalem in Ethiopia. They tell you that Israel is in South Africa. But when you ask them, show me on a map, they're not going to do it. They're going to just tell you all this great research they did. So why the research doesn't line up with the scriptures? That's what I want to know. How can anything be researched if it doesn't line up with the Bible? That doesn't make any sense to me. My beloved Elder Barrel Rock said exactly, KJ, just like these teachers saying certain Israelites are teaching things in error, but do not want to go live. The truth can stand a full cross-examination. And I totally agree with my elder. If you're going to call people false, and you're going to say, it's false teachers out here, don't be afraid to talk to a person you calling false. And let's see where the truth lies. That don't mean we got to get into it. You can't call people false and then don't want nobody to cross-examine you. That's why we always answer questions over here. Elder Bear Walk, myself, we always answer questions. You know why? Because we can stand a full cross-examination. We're not afraid. We're not going to run from anything. Because I can't be talking about, hey, this not true. But then when somebody want to talk to me about it, I'm telling them, nah, I don't want to talk. I can't do that. How am I cross-examine somebody else, but I don't want to be cross-examined? It don't work like that, fam. It doesn't work like that. So I can stand a full cross-examination. K. Judah ain't running nowhere. And if anybody say, I want to talk to you about that, brother, that Ethiopia is, Jerusalem is in Ethiopia, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to be quiet. And I'm going to let them teach the class. But I got questions, though. And we're just going to see if they can answer the questions. Now, I'm not trying to shame them. I'm not trying to, like beat them down or anything. And that's another thing people want to do. You just want to try to beat somebody down. No, I want to be edified. Because if you tell me, brother, you got it wrong, KJ, South Africa is Israel. You know what I'm going to say? Show me in the Bible. That's all I want to know. Just show me in the Bible. We ain't got to talk. We ain't got to go back and forth. I'm going to be quiet. You do your thing and show us in the Bible that is true. That's a cross-examination. And then we could discuss it and talk like brothers or, sisters and sisters, however it could be done. But nobody want to do that. But everybody false but them. I can't respect that, man. You mean to tell me you're afraid to be cross-examined, but you keep going live about everybody else being false? Come on now. My beloved sister Majestic said, and a lot of times, my brother, we do ask questions and they get mad. at you for asking. It's happening to me. Oh, I promise you, I know you're not lying, Majestic. Because I listen in the background to certain channels and I see people getting kicked out the chat box for asking a question or disagreeing with the teacher. And everybody in the chat, they got the mind of the teacher, so they treat people disrespectful based on the teacher telling them, man, get up out of my channel, or you can't ask me no questions. I teach what I teach. If you disagree with it, leave. It don't supposed to be like that. If somebody say, I disagree with what you're teaching, KJ, my family will tell you, I always drop the link and say, come show me where I'm wrong. Now, when they come up here, they leave with their head tucked down because they was arrogant and trying to, be prideful and think they're trying to shame me, and then they get shamed by the scriptures. Now, that's different because you didn't come up here for edification. You just trying to seek to be understood. You're not looking for understanding. That's something different. I'm embarrass you because I see what you're doing. You're trying to shame me. So, hey, you know what? I'm embarrass you with the book. So you can humble yourself down next time, boy. Trying to shame somebody. But guess what? None of these teachers want to talk, man. They want to teach our lies and don't want nobody to cross-examine them. I keep telling y'all, if anybody run up on y'all with that Jerusalem in Ethiopia, South Africa, all you got to say is this: where did Moses die? That's it, family. You ain't got to argue with nobody. Just ask them, where did Moses die? That's it. The conversation is over. Because if they try to lie to you and say, what you mean where he died? Where did Moses die? Moses died east of the Jordan River, family, in Mount Nebo. That is not in Ham's land, family. That's by the Moabites and the Ammonites' land and the Edomites' land. So how do you take Jerusalem when they was getting ready to cross over to Canaan, which is west of the Jordan River, to get to Jerusalem, to get to the rest of the land that Yah gave them, and you're going to tell your people that Jerusalem is in Ethiopia? When Moses died on Mount Nebo and looked at all the land of Canaan from Mount Nebo, how do you make that make sense? That's all I'm trying to ask, family. Does it make any sense? But, hey, like Elder Bellrock always say, we got too many regurgitators, man. They just regurgitate information, bro. And that's what's going on. They're not reading for themselves. And y'all already know when y'all come over here, y'all can ask whatever y'all want, because I don't know everything. But if I do have understanding of it, y'all got the right to ask whatever y'all want, family. That's what we here for. We here to answer your questions. How we going to call ourselves teachers, student teacher, because we're a student first, then a teacher. How we going to say we're a student teacher, but then get mad at y'all for asking questions? That's an oxymoron. Like, that would make me look stupid. You can't ask me no questions, but I can teach y'all though. That's dumb. Okay, Judah, you're going to teach them, but they can't ask you no questions. I'm not no teacher, y'all. If you can't ask me nothing, I'm not a teacher. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Y'all got the right to ask whatever y'all want, and y'all got to start holding these YouTube channels accountable. Me, everybody. Hold us accountable, y'all. Don't just let us tell y'all anything. Make us prove it, family. Make us prove it out of the scriptures. Tell us to prove that. Where you got that from? I didn't never read that. Prove it. And guess what? They either going to prove it to you or they not going to prove it to you. And then you will know who you dealing with. Whether you dealing with a teacher or whether you dealing with somebody who really not no teacher. He's just a private interpretator. Yeah, Sister Jania. Yeah, I got a book called The Nebrina Gas. And if anybody want to get understanding about the Ark of the Covenant, get this book called the Nebrina Gas. It's about the Ethiopians. It's legend. It's not no historical, like it's all legend. And just from their interpretation of the Ark of the Covenant, and they got a line through the children of Israel through Solomon's son named Menelik. But Solomon never had a son named Menelik. Solomon had one son that's recorded in historical history and the Bible. His name is Rehoboam. Solomon's son is named Rehoboam. He don't got no son named Menelik. But this is what the Nebri Nagaz teach. And they teach that Solomon gave the covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, to his son Menelik, and he took it to Ethiopia. Now, everybody believe the Ethiopians got the Ark of the Covenant. Family, no, they don't. No, they don't, family. And they do not got no inheritance through no Menelik. So now you can understand why the Ethiopians claiming to be Jews, but then you got the Beta Israel. These are the real ones. The Beta Israel, not the Ethiopian Jews, family. Because they telling y'all that based on Menelik, not based on something that is historical. So I just want to, and then if y'all really want to know about, let me drop some more Jews for y'all. Go look up something called Lalibela. Lalibela was a king of Ethiopia. Okay. What they did is that they made replicas of certain things from the real Jerusalem and called certain things in Ethiopia after things in Jerusalem. Like, for instance, there's a Jordan River. They got a place in Ethiopia called the Jordan River. They made replicas of things like Jerusalem, and they put it in Ethiopia. Go read about Lalibela. It's going to tell you what they did. A matter of fact, before I go, because we ain't been here that long, let me do something real quick. Watch this. Let me do this real quick for the family. Absolutely, Elder Barrel Rock. Y'all got to lead the chat if they're not going to allow you to answer questions. If they're not going to allow you to ask questions, leave that chat, man. If somebody teaching you false and they refuse correction, leave. Leave. If y'all hit me up on email and say, hey, K. Judah, you made a mistake. Y'all know I'm going to go back to my live and find out where I made that mistake at. If y'all give me the timestamp, I'm going to come back live and correct that mistake. I'm not going to be arrogant and say, you can't tell me nothing. Elder Barrel Rock just told me, hey, KJ, you keep saying Pharaoh. I thank him for doing that, because it wasn't Pharaoh who killed the baby from 2 years old and under, bro. I made a mistake. So I apologize for that. It's Herod the Great, not Pharaoh. So you see how my elder looking out for me? We're supposed to look out for each other, man. Now, some people are arrogant. You know, they want to shame you and they want to just find fault with what you're teaching. You just got to discern the spirit that you're dealing with and understand not everybody is looking for edification. Some people just looking to be understood. They're not looking for no understanding. Once you know that, then you move accordingly. But I'm talking about the teachers who have claimed that God called them to teach, but they want to teach you, but they don't want you to cross-examine them. That's not a teacher. That is not a teacher. Just like the Ethiopian eunuch, that was an Israelite coming to Jerusalem, but they said it was an Ethiopian. That was an Ethiopian eunuch, but he was called after the land in which he lived in. Just like we call after the land in which we live in. All right, let me see. I want to show y'all something before I go. My sister Patrice said the scriptures even encourage us to ask questions. If we need knowledge, clarity, and understanding, if y'all won't reproach us for doing so, why should men do so? Certified facts. Certified facts. Certified facts. If Yah don't mind questions, if Yahshua didn't mind questions, who are we to get so high and mighty to where we gonna tell our people you can't ask me no question? Nah, we can't do that, man. So let me drop this jewel on y'all before I go, and then just gonna give y'all all the understanding you need, and also go fact check what I'm saying when y'all get time. So let me open up the window real quick, and I just want y'all to hear this for y'allself, and then you will know that I'm not making this up. Okay, let me do this real quick. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Hey, I need to ask you a question real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
Isn't it true that Lalibela, who was king of Ethiopia, they made replicas in Ethiopia of certain places in Jerusalem? The real Jerusalem, they made replicas and called certain places in Ethiopia after the real Jerusalem. Isn't it true?
Yes, King Lalibela built a series of rock-hewn churches in Ethiopia in the 12th century to create a new Jerusalem, with site names and layouts reflecting places in Jerusalem. These churches still serve as a major pilgrimage destination.
Isn't one of them don't also in Ethiopia, Lalibela and them, they also call a river and changed the name to like the Jordan River, right?
There is a trench between some of the churches of Lalibela that symbolizes the River Jordan, reflecting the desire to recreate elements of Jerusalem. It's not a natural river renamed, but a man-made feature representing the Jordan River.
Yeah, but the Jordan River is over there by the land of the Ammonites and the Moabites, and also close by Edom. Moses died on Mount Nebo, looking west at all the land of Canaan. So
Mount Nebo is indeed traditionally believed to be where Moses viewed the promised land before he died, looking west toward Canaan. The symbolic features in Lalibela, like the trench representing the Jordan, were meant to evoke the holy sites of the Middle East for Ethiopian pilgrims.
yeah, but also Ethiopians who claim to be Ethiopian Jews, they make this claim through the line of Solomon through his son Menelik, through the Brina Gas, and also said that Solomon gave the Ark of the Covenant to his son Menelik, but we know there's no historical documentation to prove this.
Genetic and historical studies indicate the Beta Israel or Ethiopian Jews.
Y'all heard what he just said? The better Israel. Y'all told y'all. Hold on. Don't say nothing. Just hold on real quick. Better Israel is different than Ethiopians, y'all. The better Israel, which is the Philistines, these are different. So when y'all hear people talking about Ethiopian Jews, you got to make the distinction, because the Ethiopians by blood claiming lineage through Israel, through Solomon, through his son Menelik. This is not true. So this is why they telling the world they got the Ark of the Covenant. But isn't it true that Solomon, so-called, gave his son Menelik the Ark of the Covenant according to the Brina Gas, right?
Yes, the Kedar Nagast, an ancient Ethiopian text, tells the story of Solomon giving the Ark of the Covenant to his son Menelik. This narrative is part of Ethiopian tradition, but historians note there's no historical evidence to confirm it.
And I rest my case. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There y'all go, family. Y'all brother K. Judah got books. I read. That's why I put up book of the week. I'm not going to tell y'all something you can't go fact check, family. You better believe I'm going to tell you to go fact check me. Did y'all just hear when he said better Israel? That's not Ethiopians. They live in Ethiopia, which is called the Philistine Jews of Ethiopia, or better Israel. So these Ethiopians who come from Ham, they didn't flip the whole script and say, no, we come through Solomon, through Menelik. So now they claim a descent of our heritage through Menelik that Solomon never had, y'all. Make this make sense, man. So why would Jerusalem be in another man's land in Ethiopia that was given to Cush? Make it make sense, family. And don't y'all know Elder Mac Man just gave me a timeline? I'm talking about a magnificent, powerful timeline that I will be presenting in the future. Real soon. And guess what it's about? All the stuff I just told y'all about the Beth of Israel and the Israels in Nigeria and the Israels in South Africa, the Limbo, all just different places in Ethiopia. I mean, different places on the continent of Africa. Because y'all remember that big explosion after 1492. They expelled our forefathers from Portugal and Spain. And where y'all think they went? On the continent. So our ancestors are scattered in North Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, Ethiopia, and South Africa. We all over Africa, family. So the point that I'm making is that Ethiopian, Jerusalem, it is impossible. Listen to your brother. It is impossible for Jerusalem to be in Ethiopia when Jerusalem sit in the side of the north, family. Make it make sense. Ethiopia is east. It's not north. Bible say Jerusalem sit in the side of the north above Judah. Judah in the south, Jerusalem in the north. It's just easy. I don't understand, man. I'm just being honest. I don't understand. But I'm not here to fight, my brothers. That's why, guess what I tell the people that come and say, well, I heard a brother teaching this. Well, you got to go examine your teacher. It's not for me to bash your teacher. It's for you to examine your teacher and see what you being taught is correct. Because my brothers and sisters that rock with me and Elder Bell Rock, you know what I tell my people? Man, get your Bible, get you some pen and paper. Write this down and study to show yourself approved. So you can know, man, hey, that boy KJ ain't making none of that stuff up. I just went and researched. And what he said was true, according to the scriptures and according to history. And when me and Elder Bell Rock go live tomorrow, guess what? We got the sources. We got the documentation. We got the documentation to prove the migration patterns from Jerusalem in 70 AD to the continent of Africa, family. So do anybody have any questions before I go? But I just wanted y'all to hear that about Lalibela. Do your own research on Lalibela. He was king of Ethiopia. It's called Abyssinia. And you will get understanding of it is impossible, family, for our land to be in South Africa and then all the way up there to Ethiopia. Like, make it make sense, y'all. Hold your teachers accountable, man. Hold us all accountable. Put our feet to the fire. Make us prove to you we know what we talking about. If y'all don't do that, I'm telling you, family, it'll never be corrected or what a man is saying based on his own interpretation and regurgitation from the chat box. We'll never be able to stand on what's true and what's not because we won't hold these teachers accountable. I want to be held accountable. Y'all keep me on point. If your teacher tell you, man, you can't tell me nothing, man, that's not somebody I want to listen to. You mean to tell me nobody can tell you nothing? Nah, I don't want to listen to you. Because I can learn from my brothers and sisters from the chat box, partner. I ain't the only one with understanding. We got brothers and sisters in the chat. They don't got YouTube channels. That don't mean they don't have some understanding. That don't mean they don't have a lot of understanding. So what differ you from them because you got a microphone and they don't? That doesn't mean anything. We can learn from our brothers and sisters, whether they're on the mic, whether they're in the chat, whether they send it through email. We can all learn from each other, family. But you got some people say, you can't tell me nothing. You can't teach me nothing. I wouldn't advise you to listen to a person like that because they think they know everything. They ain't wrong about nothing. So that's all I'm leaving y'all with, family. Do your due diligence. Hold our feet to the fire. You know, hold our feet to the fire. Don't let us slide with nothing. Elder Bear Rock. I'm about to ask for real too. Let me see. I'm gonna ask that for real. I'm gonna see what he say. I want to ask you a question. Hello? Hold on, fam. Let me ask real quick. I want to ask you a question.
Sure, go ahead.
What do you call that if you have a preacher or a teacher of the Bible, but he refused to answer the questions of the audience or the questions of the people? What type of teacher would you call that?
You might call that a closed off or unapproachable teacher, and if it's a pattern, some might say they're unwilling to engage or accountable to their audience. If that's causing distress, it can help to find a teacher who welcomes dialogue.
It's not causing distress. So basically what you're saying, if you have a teacher who claimed to know biblical truth and biblical history, but he refused to answer questions, is he a teacher or not?
He's still a teacher, but he may not be an open or responsive one. Some might call that unapproachable or unaccountable. And if it concerns you, consider seeking guidance from
Oh,
other
so yeah, I see what you're saying. We're supposed to be held accountable. So what if a teacher don't want to be held accountable?
Then it's reasonable to question their credibility and seek teachers who are open to dialogue and accountability.
Oh, so teachers supposed to be able to have dialogue, supposed to be approachable, supposed to be able to reason, and supposed to be able to answer questions. Oh, I get it. Thank you.
Exactly. Being open to questions and discussion helps everyone learn. Glad I could help.
Cock-a-doodle-doodle, nigga.
I'm here to help with any questions you have. Feel free to ask if something comes up.
I said cock-a-doodle-doodle. All right, family. So there y'all go. Thank you for telling me to ask that, Elder Bell. Y'all heard that? If a teacher refuses to answer y'all question, you got the right to question his credibility. There y'all go right there. If a teacher refuses to answer any one of y'all questions, y'all have the right to question their credibility. Y'all can actually tell them you unapproachable and you are not a teacher. And if they say, how you gonna tell me I ain't a teacher? You can tell them because you refuse to answer questions and be held accountable for what you teach. So there y'all go, family. Hey, I love y'all with a pure heart. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. That was a good question right there too. And he said it. You could question their credibility. Anything else y'all got for me, family, before I go? Yep, and he said find another teacher. He sure did. He sure did. He said find another teacher. Big salute to Elder Mac Man in the chat. Big salute to you, Elder. Thank you for all you do, my brother. Thank you for all you do. Love you with the pure heart, Elder. I'm just reading y'all comments. Talk to me, Yehuda Blue. Talk to me, my sister. She say, I'm still praying on this, but I thought they were the one and the same. Who oh, you talking about Beta and Ethiopian Jews? Let me see what my sister say. Let me see what she say. And while she while she writing again, I'm gonna see what my brother said. It say when Haile Selassie, I mean power in the Trinity, power to the Trinity, was crowned in 1930, he took the name and title King of Kings, and the Ethiopians and the Rastafarians connected it to Revelation 5:5. So y'all see this though? Like my brother Matthias just said, the Ethiopians come from Ham, family. They come from Ham, son of Cush. You see? So I don't know how they making this connection through Menelik, where Solomon never had a son named Menelik. But the Ethiopians, I'm talking about the biological Ethiopians who come through Ham, they are claiming descent through Menelik, and now they have told the world they have the Ark of the Covenant. But that's not true, fam. That is not true. They do not have no Ark of the Covenant. They can't even touch the Ark of the Covenant. And why was Solomon given to Menelik? Solomon would have got put to death, giving that Ark of the Covenant to this so-called son named Menelik. Make it make sense, man. So when y'all find time, please go read about Lalibela. Please, family. Go read about Lalibela and get understanding of Abyssinia, and you will see where everybody getting all these so-called Jerusalem, Ethiopia, and so-called South Africa, Israel. None of this stuff is biblical. And let me drop one more jewel before I go. One more jewel. I did a lesson not too long ago, and I asked the question. I say, how long do it take to get from Egypt to South Africa? Guess how long y'all think it told me it take? Because y'all remember the Bible say that when we was going to the promised land, it was a few days journey. But if we went from Egypt to South Africa, don't y'all know it take like 2 years to get to South Africa from Egypt? Because the dude was walking, and he walked from South Africa to Egypt, and I think he was doing like some type of, Guinness Book of World Records or something. It say it took that man 2 years to get from South Africa to Egypt. But the Bible say our journey was a few days journey. So he never said 2 years. So how did we walk from Egypt all the way to South Africa with all them people? And the Bible say it was just a few days journey. We could have got to the promised land. But because of their sins, they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. Make it make sense, man. Oh, okay. Okay, Yehuda Blue. I got you, my sister. I got you. Yeah, Amalek come through Esau. Amalek come through Esau. It don't supposed to be no Amalekites right now, but Saul, he was hard-headed. And he didn't do what the Bible said. So now we got what? Amalekites still running around because of Saul. They come through Edom, Idumea. And because of Saul refused to kill all the Amalekites, here we go today. Got Amalekites still. Boy, I'm telling y'all, Israel, Saul was hard-headed, man. See, somebody asked me one time, why would the Lord forgive David and not Saul? And I told them, because Saul was never fully repentant. David was. After David messed up, you notice that David didn't sin no more. Saul, he was just hard-headed, man. He told Saul, do not go to a woman of familiar spirit. This man did it anyway. He told Saul, go kill the Amalekites. Saul left the man alive in the best of the flock. Saul did his own sacrifice. Come on, y'all. That man was hard-headed, man. What you supposed to do with that? Nothing, but just get rid of it, man. Man, hey, he can't be king no more, man. He was hard-headed, man. David messed up. He corrected his error of his ways, and he was on the right track, not Saul. So when I told that to the brother, he got understanding. Oh, okay, he wasn't fully repentant. No, he wasn't. He kept messing up. Yeah, absolutely, Elder Barrel Rock. David was after Yahweh's own heart. And he never worshiped idols. That boy Saul gonna go to that woman talking about bring up Samuel. That wasn't Samuel that was talking. That was a demon, a devil. Yep, absolutely, Yehuda Blue. If you don't get rid of them, they're gonna be a thorn in your side. And that's exactly what happened when we got the land of Canaan. We did not expel the Canaanites, the Girgashites, the Hittites, and guess what? They became a thorn because we started worshiping their God. They started mingling with the women, and it was just horrible, man. It was just terrible. A downhill from there. A downhill from there. Absolutely. Facts right here. Saul was a people pleaser. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And that's why he put that evil spirit on Saul. Since you want to be evil, here you go. I'm going to put an evil spirit on your behind. And if David didn't play that music, Saul was being tormented by an evil spirit. He was being tormented. So I just wanted to come on, family, and just show y'all the pattern of Joseph. Just like I did with Jonah and Yahshua, I did Joseph and Yahshua. And I also did one about Moses and Yahshua, how Yahshua was a prototype of Moses. I did one with King David and Saul, showing the attributes of Yahshua through them two. The Bible is just a cold piece of work, man. And if you just really eat the book, man, you'll get this understanding, fam. Like, you'll be able to see all these patterns, man, all these timelines. Because that's what the Bible is, a book of timeline too. So enjoy the rest of y'all day. I love y'all with a pure heart. And many blessings to the mighty nation of Israel. I say salute, family.
Order our steps in your word. Order our steps. We trust your word. Yeah. We came with open hands. Dust on our worn out plans. Take what has been in us, make it straight, make it true. We follow where you lead, and even when we can't see, Your voice above the noise, your mercy guiding me. Yeah, and Yahshua, hear our simple cry. Put your word in our feet, put your peace in our minds. Order our steps in your word. Order our steps. We trust your word. Yeah, and Yahshua, lead us on. Order our steps. We belong. When the road feels long and our strength runs thin, teach our hearts to wait till your will comes in. Keep our way aligned, let your truth remain. We don't want our own, we want your name, Yahshua. Hear our simple cry, put your word in our feet, put your peace in our minds. Order our steps in your word. Order our steps. We trust your word. Yeah. Yahshua, lead us on. Order our steps. We belong. When we drift, call us back. When we fall, hold us fast. Every door, every breath, let it point to your path. In your word, order our steps. We trust your word, yeah. Yahshua, lead us on. Order our steps. Till we belong. Order our steps. In your word, order our steps. We trust your word.
Hey, before I go, support the family. The Nazarene Hebrew Institute of Faith, Elder Bro Tim Stevens, Antonia Set Apart Hines, my sister Yas Pat, the Eve Way Speak Truth, and please support your brother KJ. There's one thing that I appreciate about the family, that we all support each other. That doesn't mean we have to agree on every little thing. That's why we have these conversations where we can talk about it and gain some understanding. Y'all can edify me. I'm not the only one that can edify you. Just because you're in the chat box, don't let nobody make you feel small or diminish you because you don't have a YouTube channel teaching. That doesn't mean anything. Some of the most wisest and brilliant people don't be saying nothing half of the time. Elder Mac Man don't have a channel. And y'all saw the timeline that he put together. Elder Mac Man sent me all type of timeline. And guess what? We're going to present them. On behalf of the Most High Yah and Yahshua and Elder Mac Man, God giving him the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to put it together. He don't have a channel. But y'all see the edification. So don't let nobody make y'all feel small. Don't let nobody make you feel like you don't have no understanding. And don't let nobody diminish you, telling you, because you don't have a channel, what you know. You don't know nothing. You don't got no knowledge. How they know that? How they know you don't know nothing from a chat box? I'm asking the question. Talk to me. That's that pride and arrogance that I be talking about, family. Listen to y'all brother before I go. Hold our feet to the fire. I bet y'all if y'all start holding all our feet to the fire, you will get the answers that you want, because you're going to force that teacher to either tell you a lie or tell you the truth. But you have to ask questions, family. I guarantee y'all, if y'all go ask these teachers that teach that Jerusalem and Ethiopia and challenge them, I bet you they don't answer your question. I bet you they don't. They're going to talk crazy to you. They're going to tell you how much they know, and you don't got no knowledge like I got, and my information can debunk your information. Tell them to prove it. That's all y'all got to do. Just tell them to prove it. Don't tell them, don't tell me what you did yesterday. Prove it right now. You're supposed to always be ready, huh? You a teacher, right? You're supposed to always be ready. Tell them to prove it. It ain't just about the land. Tell them to prove all these doctrines they be saying. Joseph knocked Mary down. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Now they talking about John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. They say Moses wasn't in the truth. They say Moses fell out the truth. I ain't making this up. They say John the Baptist wasn't in the truth, y'all. And Christ said there is none greater born like John. But he wasn't in the truth, though. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all got to hold us accountable, family. Because if y'all don't, people going to keep running amok with all this false doctrine and lies and deception and manipulation of the scriptures. Please don't be a regurgitator. Please do not do that. You're going to only hurt yourself, family. Don't be a regurgitator. So thank y'all for participating in this Sword Swinger session with your brother KJ. Let's get it. In the words of my beloved sister August Dreams, thank y'all for coming to the Lion's Den with your brother K. Judah, the CUC family. Shout out to Elder Barrel Walk and my sister Sagala. Make sure to support my sister Sagala, her women's ministry. Once a month, she get with the sisters and they handle their business. Elder Bro Tim Stevens and all my beloved brothers and sisters in the chat, the mighty nation of Israel. Let's get it. And your brother K. Judah want to say shalom and early Shabbat shalom to the mighty nation of Israel. Our king is coming. Salute.